All right.
All right, this is the Tom and Tyler 5-minute bullshit hour featuring me, which is not Tom.
And myself, which is not Tyler.
All right. I'm glad we got that out of the way.
Yes.
Yeah,
That was hard.
Yeah, really hard on like certain things.
Mm.
Rest in peace. So yeah, actually, in listening to the older recordings, realized that I say a lot of ums and a lot of like those words that people just say when they're trying to think, but don't need
cut
to
that
say.
out of there, man.
I'm really trying to put
Get
on
that
my game
here.
face. All right, so
All right.
we've got some things to talk about. I don't know if we want to do an overlap, an
Yeah,
overlay.
let's do a little overview here. We
There you
got we're talking about some video game stuff, that 3D NES emulator.
Mm-hmm. You want to go in
There
order?
I go. I'm saying ums. What?
You want to go in order?
No.
Okay, random, all random, no items. Final destination.
Fox
you two
only.
Damn it. Hate Fox. I mean, Fox is the best. I love him. Not like love him though. Not like those people. But you know what I'm talking about.
I entered that one Melee tournament and got my shit wrecked, dude.
Melee tournaments? Yeah, don't do that. There's some hardcore people. Brawl, you could probably contend a little bit, and with the new one on the Wii U, that one's actually pretty balanced too. But there's just too many busted things in Melee.
Melee, it was so. I have like PTSD from that experience.
Dude, that was me too. Like, I played with some actual professionals, and they just played with me. Like, they just wrecked me so hard with the worst characters intentionally. It was funny.
Yep. It was bad. Anyway, so 3D NES. Talking about a lot of stuff. Holograms.
Yeah.
We'll get into that. Harambe grams or Haram.
Harem?
That
Harem.
gorilla.
Yeah.
The meme gorilla.
Harem. The gorilla meme.
The
That gorilla
meme.
that like attacked that child and then got killed. Everyone knows about that.
Yeah.
You just gotta say
Everyone
that and they'll
knows.
understand.
Man, I say a lot too. All right.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking
Jeez.
about. You don't notice it unless you're like being conscious of what you're saying.
Gotta be self-aware.
And like I'm saying, if you really think about it, you actually can just cut it out. You kind of just pause a little bit more without throwing words in there.
Yeah.
Good stuff. All right, yeah. So we're talking about Sonic the Fudge Hog, and we're talking about probably talking about anime at some point. Because that's just how we roll.
That's how we roll.
Mm-hmm.
Rolling around at the speed of sound.
That does rhyme. Okay, I wasn't expecting it, but
That's actually a Sonic song. I don't know if you've
All
ever
right.
played.
That makes
All right.
sense, but I didn't know about it. So yeah, other than that, we have the mini NES, the one that Nintendo's officially releasing. That's gonna have like the NES emulations on it.
Yes.
And we talk
Okay.
about-
Let's just jump right into that right now. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Good topic. All right, on to the
There I
next
go
thing.
with
No, just kidding.
those I'm still saying
Yeah, that's cool,
God
dude.
damn it. Okay.
So it's called the NES Classic Edition.
Addiction.
And that's basically what it was for me. I used to just be addicted to that NES Classic.
But
Yeah.
wait, it's okay. So yeah, it's not out yet. We have to
Mhm.
wait November 11th.
Is that what it is?
Oof. Jeez.
That's like months from now.
That is
who
a
would've
couple
thought?
months. The
And-
cool thing is, it has all of these games on it that just comes with it.
Yes, it's preloaded with I think about 60 or what is it? No, 60 is how much it costs. $60 for well over $60 worth of games is basically how they're running it. Like even if you were to buy these on Virtual Console, you'd be spending a heck of a lot more than $60. And then it comes with like the old retro NES paddles is what they used to call them, the controllers. So I mean, you're getting the authentic feel on the authentic-ish
Right.
system. Plus, it looks cute as heck. I mean, it's like probably a fifth of the size of the original NES, but it still has like the little flappy door and the lights, and oh, it's so cute.
Yeah, it looks like the old toaster.
Mm-hmm.
But the controller isn't... It looks like the classic controller, but they're not actually the classic controllers.
Go on.
They look like the things that you plug into like a Wii remote.
Oh, okay, so you're talking about the input.
Yes. The input is like a Wii remote attachment.
Well, yeah, you can use the Wii Classic controller, but you can also use the original. I mean, not the official original paddles for the NES, but they come with like knockoff versions of it.
Right.
So I mean, you can use the NES or the controller classic Wii U controllers as well, but you can also like for $10 buy ones that look like the original ones, and you know it's just the feeling really, very crisp, very simple.
It comes with
NES.
an HDMI cable.
Yeah. So it plugs in via HDMI, which is really nice. Some TVs don't have composite input anymore, so they decided to just cut that right off at its knees and, you know, just go straight up HDMI. Simple sound, video, bam. Enough people have digital TVs this day that they're not really trimming their audience too much. You know, the thing that sucks about it, I'm not really seeing a way for them to add more games to it, which, to be honest, there is hundreds and hundreds of hours worth of content on here, and for $60, which is basically the cost of a, you know, grade A quality game these days, you're getting, you know, hundreds of hours of varied multiplayer and single player action. So I'm really liking the value of this. And I mean, just looking at some of these titles, I mean, Legend of Zelda, all the 3 original Mario Brothers that were on the NES, like Contra, Super C, Metroid, Mega Man, Kirby's Adventures. Like, if you really want to go hardcore, you can play some Kid Icarus and get
Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah.
Dude.
Oh, yeah, that's hardcore, too.
Ninja
they don't have
Gaiden.
the second one, do they?
No.
They don't. All right, so
I almost beat that. Did I ever tell you that? I almost beat it without save states.
Without save states. That's the important part. Yeah, I've not tried it without save states. I got about halfway through with them and, you know, kind of eventually fell off the earth with that. But some of these I have beaten. Like, I'm seeing Double Dragon 2 The Revenge, which I'm happy. They don't have the original Double Dragon, but original Double Dragon wasn't really that good anyway.
Yeah.
What is this? This is Donkey Kong and Donkey Kong Jr.
Castlevania 2.
Oh,
Simon's
yeah.
Quest.
People can try to trudge their way through that. Bubble Bobble, like some of these are like replayable games as well. They're not really story, so that's kind of nice. Like Dr. Mario.
You know what though? Like they probably could, if they made it like an SD card system. You probably could be able to like let's say if you downloaded stuff from the Virtual Console on like the Wii or Wii U. You should be able to put that on an SD card and play it on here.
And unfortunately, I didn't include that. Most likely for the reason that too many people would hack it and, you know, do that illegally. So even just opening up that port would probably lead to them... I mean, you know what they're probably going to end up doing? Releasing an NES Classic 2 with all the things they omitted from the first one. I mean, that would just be a good business move on their end.
I think... They might also be doing this for the Super Nintendo as well.
They should eventually. I mean, in all honesty, it's not that expensive to make a standalone console like this, and they already own all the rights for most of the games. So, and that's what I was wondering about too, because they do have some, you know, like Namco games like Pac-Man, and you know, Capcom owns Mega Man 2. Like, I don't know if they had to pay extra for that, or if Nintendo kind of just snaked their way into using those, but I'm really happy that they included them, basically.
Yeah.
Because I know Sega did a similar thing to this with all their old games. Like, they would just reissue consoles that had just plug and play and had all the original games, like a lot of the good original games in it, but they really didn't used to have, like, third-party support. You kind of can only really play the ones that they developed. And,
right.
You know, Nintendo's going the extra mile, and I really appreciate that.
I hope they do something like this. Like, wouldn't that be cool if they did this for like the N64 or something?
That would be pretty intense. I mean, especially
it seems like a lot to do, but
because like these older games, there are emulators that have like network play, which people really like to do, like be able to play, you know, classic Super Mario World with someone across their freaking world. But I mean, once you get into the more complicated games like the ones on the N64, I'd really like it if they made those, like basically being able to play like GoldenEye with 4 players, LAN, or not LAN, but over the internet. I mean, like I feel like there's a potential crowd for that. people will be able to relive that. Even though, I mean,
Shit, I'd do that.
yeah, totally, and that's what I'm saying. Like, they could really capitalize on this reissuing of emulation legally. Because, I mean, like I said, there's so many options to do it without permission from Nintendo, but they're giving you an outlet
Right.
to do it. And I'm going to take
Right.
it.
All right. Well, let's move on over.
Move it on over to the one topic that I don't think we brought up in the introduction, which is the Marina Joyce. The strange case of Marina Joyce.
And internet hysteria. Oh, yeah. This was I was watching this when it was happening, and it just seems like there's like a couple weird things happening in a couple of her videos, and people are just blowing it up like crazy.
Yeah, that kind of seems to be what's going on.
And there was a couple things like a lot of people that know her are saying that she has a drug problem. So like she is acting weird according to some of her fans or whatever. But that could just be she's on drugs or something, dude. I don't know. Like, yeah, it's weird. It's basically just internet hysteria. Some people are like having panic attacks over this. I'm like, yeah. Chill out, okay?
Yeah.
The police went to her house and tweeted on Twitter like, "Yo, we just went there. She's fine. Nothing is going on." At the same time, though, everyone's like reaching out to her and like, "Yo, just tell us like you're okay," and she's not telling them that she's okay. Pretty
Let me
much.
see here.
She's just kind of like absorbing all the attention. Like she's not being like, "Yo, stop worrying about me. I'm fine." She's like, she wasn't saying any of that.
Yeah, I can kind of
So-
see where you're going with that. How she's just kind of like eating up all this delicious stuff. Like I'd like to think that she kind of planted that kind of stuff just to get a little bit of internet fame, but I really think this is people blowing it out of the water.
Yeah, no, it's mostly just people blowing it out of the water. Yeah, that's what it is.
You know how people are, though. I mean, like, anytime you get into any sort of theory, conspiracy, people can find quote-unquote facts in order to support their sides, and just have the convenient. They are very good at ignoring stone cold facts and ignoring all the different signs that point to whatever they're not trying to believe at the time, and just keep finding more and more material to believe it in their hearts. And that's the thing that sucks, is that, it's just a couple of those really paranoid people that, they're really, really trying to do something good because they think there's something going on, but then they end up spreading it throughout the internet and people start believing them, and,
Right,
the end result
right.
is people having panic attacks, people who are legitimately, having repercussions for this one person's theory, and... I really don't support that kind of stuff, and that's the reason why, really.
They have a good example here on like further down this this article about the Boston bombers, the Boston, when that was going on.
Yeah.
A bunch of people on Reddit were like trying to identify the bomber, and it's like that's cool and everything. You're trying to like do something that maybe the police like can't find or whatever.
Yeah, putting more manpower behind a cause.
Right. But where it went wrong is they think they found the person, right? A guy named Sunil Tripathi. And they thought it was him, and they wrongly accused him of being the Boston bomber. And his whole family was like, he actually like died. He apparently committed suicide before the accusations even started. But his whole family was like harassed by people on the internet being like falsely accused, and that's just like, that's not right. Like, you need to like inform the police and have them look into it.
Exactly.
Not go after them yourself.
Anytime someone takes something like that into their own hands, based on like loose data and all that, and puts it into action, those are extremists. Those are extreme people, It happens.
Yeah.
It's in every walk of life. And, I mean, this was the example in this one where the people put it into their own hands when they really had no right to. And, I mean, whether they were reprimanded for their actions or not, I really don't know.
It's like the damage is still done, you know?
And, I mean, in this case, the extremists, I'm not really seeing too much about extremists on this. It's kind of just people blowing it up on the internet and making videos and all that kind of stuff, so...
Right.
Like I said, all it's really doing is making people panic at this point. But, somebody might break into her house and make sure that she's all right and, cause mental stress to her. That could be the end result, and that's really what's going to push this over the edge. And
especially
get to that point.
Especially if this whole thing is just like that she's on drugs, like, you're just scaring the shit out of her. Like, just
chill,
leave her alone. Chill out. Like... Oh.
Let her live her life. Let her teach us about makeup and teach us about life in general.
Yeah, and date outfit ideas. Okay.
Mm-hmm. So let's move on to another heart healthy topic. That would be the 25th anniversary of Sonic the Hedgehog.
Sonic.
Oh yeah.
So he's been around for a while. What was the last Sonic?
Yeah,
game
I'd say about 25 years.
25
roughly.
years. Yeah. Yeah.
What's that? Last Sonic game I played? The original Sonic, because I actually just don't play Sonic ever. I played the original one.
The first one? Or
Yeah, yeah.
Sonic 2?
Nope, it was
Sonic
the original
3?
one. I bought a Sega Genesis because it was extremely cheap and bought the original Sonic games. Only played the first one. Had some fun with it, got pretty far into it. I wasn't going for like 100% completion or anything, but it really gave me a good idea for what Sonic was, just for the fact that I was such a Nintendo hardcore nerd that like anything, with my little prepubescent mind that doesn't know how to try new things was just like Sonic, Sega, evil, Nintendo. I'm a Tyler. I've never really played much Sonic, but eventually I gave him a try, and I wish I would have played it as a child because I would have ate that game up. I mean, it's basically really good platforming combined with like really good, like mini game-ish mechanics and speed. I mean, that's really the thing that Mario never really, or like Mario games in general never really focused on, was the fact that like you could run in order to fly in like Mario 3 and stuff like that, and like you get coins for points, so like there's a point system, but Sonic really took it to the speed portion, and that's really what made it competitive and that was its angle, to be honest.
Yeah, no, it did. For that time, I think Sonic was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And then Sonic went into 3D.
Yeah.
And then, you know what? As a kid, I really did like the 3D games. I played the hell out of... Sonic Adventure 2 Battle was the first game I ever had on my GameCube.
Oh, okay.
And I love that game. Especially the Chow Garden. They have this little garden where you raise these, like, things called Chow.
Yeah, like a mini game type thing.
Yeah, it's like a sub-game to break away from the main gameplay, like a little break.
Uh-huh.
Which I really liked. And to be honest, that's like the only reason I'll play.
Just for the Chow Garden?
Just for the Chow Garden. I'll go back and play it.
That's fun. Some simulation action.
I think it's a good game for kids,
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people are very nostalgic. Yeah. In the article right here, they're at like a Sonic convention. He's like, there's a lot of nostalgia here. So I can see that. But I would really say I'm still like a Sonic fan.
Just a regular old Sonic fan, not any diehard or...
Yeah, these guys like dressed up in costumes here at this convention. That's a little much. A little much for me.
Yeah, these people look like they're really believing their roles. That's what's... I mean, I'm all for, what's that called? Cosplaying. But these people seem pretty into it. I feel like they put hours and hours and hours into these costumes and wear them on more than convention occasions. And I'm not alright with that, Just
yeah. But whatever,
Yeah, to each their own. Everyone's got those little weird niche things they do. Like making podcasts,
Yeah.
Jake.
Like those faggots that make podcasts.
Oh yeah, the fucking idiots. Think they're so cool.
Fucking stupid. Okay. So, basically, yeah, he's had a good run.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, they've had so.
Yeah, yeah. Let's get
Recently,
into that some more.
it has not been successful.
Yeah, I
in
really
my
liked,
opinion.
like just from a outside perspective, because I obviously didn't play the game. I liked the one that they released on the Xbox, where they kind of went back to the roots and. Oh, I forget what it was called though. Let's look that up real quick. Either way, one that kind of harkened back to the original Sonic games. Like, there's been a lot of changes in the gameplay over the years, especially with the Sonic or the 3D titles and like all the spin-offs that ensued from it. Like, some of them were good. We played that Sonic Battle game before. That was pretty good. But I
Which
mean, like,
one was that?
it was on like the GameCube Gems.
Yeah, Sonic
kind
the
of,
Fighters.
Yeah,
that
yeah,
arcade
Fighters,
fighting
there you
game.
go. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Also, it's 420.
Oh yeah. Hey, we didn't note the time and date when we started this podcast.
No, I guess we didn't.
It is August 7th, 2016. We started it at what's 4:21 minus 21 minutes? 4 o'clock on the dot.
4 o'clock on the dot, man.
Oh yeah.
Ooh.
Oh yeah. All right, so what's that Sonic? Let's look up Sonic games. Let's get some examples, some cold hard facts.
Did you
Sonic
know, like,
Mania? What is this?
Hulk Hogan and Macho Man Randy Savage both had like a rap album in the 80s?
No, I did not.
It is.
I don't know if I needed to know that. But
It's
now
like-
I know.
Don't do drugs and stay in school.
Oh man, so it's kid
Like-
friendly too.
It's so weird. Okay, alright, back on topic.
If you would call us Generations. Was that 2011?
So Sonic Generations,
That's the one I liked. Basically,
that was, I heard a lot of good things about
That
that.
was
I did
5
not
years
play
ago?
it, but,
yeah, that just shows you how behind I am on Sonic related news. There are a lot of games here though.
well, they
Sonic
had,
Mania, Sonic Boom, Fire and Ice, Sonic Runners. That was just games made in, or Sonic Mania didn't come out yet, but these are
Alright.
just games made in the past 3 years. Like,
in my opinion, Sonic Boom was an atrocity. In my opinion.
oh, they have
but,
multiple.
I thought that was not
What is it,
good.
like a Spyro type game? I don't understand. What's the angle?
It's like, I don't know. It's like just weird. They redesigned all the characters, and yeah, they just look. I don't know where it's going. I don't have any.
You don't have enough knowledge
I don't know.
to predict
Yeah.
the future of Sonic.
I'm not gonna. I don't know what they should do with Sonic, but whatever they did with Sonic Boom was not okay. Looks like there's like Project 2017. So it's still got a pretty good. People are still trying to make games for him. So
Isn't it
I
all
hope
them
they do
though?
'em good.
Sega. Isn't that like all they have left, really? Let's see what Sega has released in the near past. Are they keeping any of the other franchises open? Do you know anything about that? I mean, I'm looking it up right now, so I'll be
they
able
shut
to.
down their main office in San Francisco. I know that Sega did that.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people thought they were going under, stopping making games or whatever. But it doesn't seem to be that way.
Yeah,
But
obviously they're not. They're out of the console game. Thankfully.
I don't know. I don't know what they're doing. I honestly, if they're selling their offices in San Francisco, they're obviously like the ship's sinking. So
Oh,
unless
they
they
own
can,
Virtua Fighter. I forgot about that.
unless they can climb out of this hole, I don't know.
Yeah, they'd really need something. Yeah, so they still release Virtua Fighter games.
They do, really.
I mean, last one that was created was 2014. I mean, they're mobile games, so they're obviously not, type of games, but
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Fantasy Star? When was the last time they did one of those?
Ooh.
Fantasy Star was big for a while.
Then they had like Fantasy Star Online. I know that was huge.
Uh-huh.
Or is that a different Fantasy Star, or is it the
Fantasy
same?
Star Generation. Okay, these are just remakes, so they're kind of just porting at this point. And that's kind of how I see the company in general. They're really, making very low budget, high nostalgia games and really just banking on that to try to make some extra dough, yo. Which is nice, keeping the franchises alive, but at some point you gotta let stuff die. And
You
I
kind
think
of do.
That's
yeah.
what they need to do. That's what Sega needs to do. They need to stop
They do.
dragging the dead hedgehog around and pretending and putting him on puppet strings, because...
No, seriously, they should make like a new... They need like a new mascot. They need... You know...
I don't know if they should do that. That's a pretty bold move.
Nintendo has had Mario for how long, but they never made a really terrible Mario game. Because that's like their main brand, but
Mario
Sega was
is
too
missing.
reckless. Sega was too reckless with Sonic. He had a lot of flops. There was that one where he was with the Black Knight. It was like Sonic and the Black Knight. Then there was like Sonic Unleashed where he turns into a werewolf. It's like, okay, you know, like...
They were trying to push some boundaries. The thing is that in order to make a really good game, you need a lot of time and a lot of money. And they've always just been trying to climb out of a hole. So they never, like... They could take the time, obviously, and stop releasing all this shovelware and just make one good Sonic game. But eventually they're going to run out of money. And what happens then, Tom? You go under.
That's
so, I mean,
true.
that's what I'm saying. They're constantly trying to breathe. They're kind of trying to stop drowning, and it didn't work out.
Yeah.
But that's my opinion. You know, my opinion's not fact. That's why they call it opinion.
I saw something, this really... This really annoying YouTuber guy. God, I could not... I had to mute him. It was really bad. But he was reviewing a fan-made game in Unreal Engine 4 called Sonic Adventure 3. Like, this guy was, like, trying to revamp the Sonic Adventure series. It looked okay. I liked what I saw. It looked pretty cool.
You're talking, this is a fan-made game, right?
This is a fan-made game.
Back on? Okay.
Sonic wasn't talking, which I think is a pretty good move, because... yeah. I just kind of... When you take, like, a silent protagonist and give him a voice, you gotta be really careful about how you do it. Like, in Legend of Zelda, if they gave Link a voice, they would have to be really... had him talk and stuff. Like, you gotta be... It's sensitive, and I did not like Sonic's voice.
Yeah, I don't really think there's a way to win with any of that. Like, if you make Link's voice too manly, they're just gonna have people like making fun of him for that.
Right.
Just like spin off, like, oh, you know, Link might be like a cross-dresser or something. I don't know. And then if it goes too like girly and kiddie, then you know they catch flack for that too. And like, even in the middle ground, there's going to be people that are going to be unhappy no matter what. So I really like keeping a silent protagonist for these games that should be focused on gameplay, not story. Zelda was never...
Right.
I mean, the story was there. It's kind of the thing that drove the gameplay. But when it came down to it, Zelda was a game about puzzles and adventuring, and story's kind of in the backseat for that.
Right.
That's kind of the thing that tied everything together really well, because it's what, you know, made it different, along with its unique puzzle gameplay. And that's the thing about Sonic. How much story can you add to him? He's saving woodland creatures. That was like the original plot point.
Right.
Where do you get a story out of that? And that's something they've been trying, and something that, in my opinion, they've been failing with.
Well, I mean, here's the other thing, too. Like, yeah, look at, like, Zelda and Mario. The same things happen. It's all about the gameplay.
Oh, yeah,
Whatever,
I was
like,
just comparing an adventure game to a platformer game. So, yeah, back to Mario. I think I like that in juxtaposition.
But it's like, the heck with the story. You're just there to play through the levels, the fun gameplay.
Yeah.
And with Sonic, you gotta leave the story to games like Halo and, like, Mass Effect. Stories that, like... you play for the story, kind of. Like, yes,
I wouldn't
playing
put
the game
Halo
is
in there
fun.
as much, but definitely Mass Effect.
Mass
Effect, definitely. Halo, probably not as much. Halo's a lot of people
yeah.
that just play it for multiplayer. But, like, Mass Effect... what's another really good one? I think... Is Resident Evil story-driven enough? I feel like that one was... Like, they really...
Resident Evil was story-driven. There wasn't... In the first one, there was a story, but the voice acting was so terrible, it was hard to determine what was going on. Even still, it's hard to determine what's going on, because there's just so much happening.
They love just grabbing stuff out of a hat. It's so fun.
Yeah, it's crazy. But back to my point.
Back to your point before we took a
Sonic
turn for the
was
worse.
a silent protagonist. The story was whatever. You had like the same story pretty much each time. Get the emeralds. Maybe not in the first one that you know of, but these emeralds.
Mm-hmm.
And then he can go supersonic, whatever. Okay, cool. And then now they're trying, like with the Sonic Adventure series, they added a voice to Sonic. They added this whole like story going on. It's like, okay, you know, I would have rather everyone just not have a voice and you just go through whatever. Like, you know? I don't know.
I think this harkens back to your topic that you brought up a little earlier with the fact that at this point it is just a kid's game. It's kind of hard to make an adult platformer, and they're not going for it anymore. Like, a kid would love a talking Sonic, and I wouldn't, and that's the difference.
Okay, yeah. Yes. Yeah. You're right there.
Alright, so I think we beat Sonic to death enough.
We're beating a dead horse, just like his own company is doing to him.
Yeah. Let's get off that bandwagon and talk about something less topic driven. Let's just talk about animes in our life in general, what's been going on.
Did you start watching JoJo's Bizarre Adventure yet?
No.
Oh my god.
That's what I was saying. Maybe I said the wrong. Did I say Berserk? I meant to say JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. I tried to watch the original older version of it before it was revamped. And that one I couldn't get into too much. It was just way too campy for me. I kind of have a bias against campiness, and that show is campy as heck.
The newest version, I think it was like in 2012. Mm-hmm. That's the one I've been watching. That's
the one I obviously need to watch then. Okay, good stuff.
The beginning's a bit dry because it starts out in like the 1800s, I think.
Yeah.
So there's not a lot going on. It's like the beginning of the saga.
Tom, you playing with a pen right now?
I am playing with a pen.
Beginning of the saga. So yeah, they started off the series with like a little bit of, like episode 0 type content where they're
Well, yeah, it has to start
recapping.
somewhere.
Yeah.
The whole thing with JoJo, and I'm going to try and do this without spoiling everything for you, but it like goes through the years. It's not just in one time period. There's like all this stuff going on. They're using all these crazy. It gets crazy, and they get some crazy powers. They start like just.
Does it just become like Superman, where they just start being able to do whatever the heck they want whenever they want?
The biggest thing, and probably my favorite thing about the series, is that like while they're doing their attacks, they're like describing everything that's happening in the attack. And then they're even, like, predicting what the other person's going to do and say. Like, and now you'll say this and do this, and I'm going to do this. And then they do it, and it's like, oh my god!
Sounds intense.
It gets crazy.
Alright, so yeah, not spoiling, can't really get too deep into it. Kind of harkening back to the original topic of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, with how bizarre and adventurous it is. You thought I was talking about Berserk then? Did you try to watch that one?
I did. I watched the first episode.
Oh, okay, I was about to say, because it moves very slowly. And it takes a while for it to build. Like I said, I recommend it, but it's not for everyone. I understand that.
A lot of animes are like that, though. You got to get through the first couple episodes, and then it starts to snowball, and you get real into it.
Oh, man,
so, I'll have to give it another shot. Steins Gate was kind of like that for me.
Yep, I could definitely see that for Steins Gate. That was honestly what I was worried about showing that to you, because it takes a little while for it to stop tripping over itself and start rolling.
But when shit goes down, it is like the most like...
yeah. I was on the edge of my seat. Like, it takes a lot for me to want to binge watch a series in general, and that one was like... I couldn't do it because I obviously had too many responsibilities at the time, but I was just like, oh my god, I want to just watch all this. I want to watch it all right now.
It was so good. And alright, I'll say this right now. Spoiler alert. Mm-hmm. Spoiler alert. Spoiler fucking alert. The end-ish, when he can't save, what's her name?
Yeah.
Not his friend, his assistant, the one he always calls Christina. I forget her actual name.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
He tries to save her, and he couldn't, and he comes back out of the time machine, and the other girl who was actually like John Titor, or was pretending to be John Titor, sends him like shows him the message of himself from the future back to himself.
Yeah.
And he's just watching that, and he's like, and remember, El Psy Kangaroo. And he just is like, oh my god. Dude, that was nuts. He's like, I'm still like this when I'm 50 or whatever.
Yes. Yeah, it started exploding towards the end, and I really liked that about it. Like, just really wrapping it up well. I feel like it didn't, try to pull an ending out of its butt or anything. It actually kind of wove it pretty nicely in there, kind of ending the series on a good note and as well as they possibly could.
The thing about a series like that is, like, I gotta wonder, did they write that from end to beginning?
Well, because, it was probably an anime or a manga first, so I never know that in general. Like, when the manga was written, did they have all that planned in there?
They had to have, because in, like, the beginning episode, you hear when he himself gets stabbed by her father.
Yeah.
You hear a guy scream, but then you find her on the ground with blood.
Uh-huh.
So it's like, they had to have known that, though, because you hear himself scream.
Yeah. And, I mean, it's a short anime, so also within production, they obviously had the story all written out already and everything.
Right.
What was I trying to think of? Oh, I'm trying to say, like, I know from, like, watching Futurama, how they had, like, certain things they would just leave open and try to get back to later in the series. Like, in the first episode when you saw, like, Nibbler's eye in the shadow and stuff like that. They kind of just throw those things in there and then make up as they go on what should fit into that part.
Okay.
And that's maybe what they did, but I really think that they had that whole plot planned out. But, I mean, that is another, not subject, but another way to do that in order to make those things that you can, go back into the past episodes and figure out that they could have been alluding to this the whole time. Foreshadowing? Is that really what I was looking for? God.
That's what you were looking for. Man, yeah, if I become a writer, I'm just going to, like, throw random stuff in and be like, we'll figure it out later, and then come up with some crazy master plan.
Sounds good. I mean, it's just as good as making the crazy master plan up at the beginning, but, I mean, no one can guess it if you're literally making it up out of nowhere. Just saying.
I also recently... Okay, I'm pretty sure I watched this in, like, one day. One Punch Man.
Okay, so I watched the first 3 episodes of that, because, I mean, I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I always try to save animes, movies, books, whatever, for specific moments in my life. Ones that I know are going to be great. And One Punch Man, I've just heard so much hype about that I knew it was going to be great. I ended up watching that with Caitlin and her friend Kevin when I was over in the Poconos last time. I watched the first 3 episodes, trying to find a reason to watch the rest of them. Obviously, I haven't found much interaction with people who like animes since then, but from what I saw, it is exactly as great as everyone was explaining it. So go on with what you were saying, Tom.
Well, the biggest thing... I really like the humor in it.
Uh-huh.
The biggest thing is it breaks the traditional anime style where the hero is like trying to become stronger, then an enemy appears, and then he's about to lose, and then out of nowhere whips something out of his ass and wins. With him, I forget his name. It's like Satoru or something.
Mm-hmm.
I watched this in a day, so I don't even... There's only like 12 episodes.
Yeah.
But he's already like the strongest in the world.
Yes.
So like he's just doesn't care about anything.
I love I mean, that's the thing too, it's not like unrealistic how powerful he is, because he does explain like how he goes through a rigorous training regimen every single day.
You did get to that part? Where
yeah, I got that far.
He's just like, I just do 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups and run and never turn the AC or heat on. It's like, no matter how hot or cold it gets, you just endure it.
Yeah. It's his ridiculous training regimen. But yeah, I like that about him, where he's just like, yeah, I'm hardworking, and it really, really sucks that nobody's ever challenged me, but it's also kind of nice. I'm One Punch Man.
Yeah, yeah. No, I really liked it.
Yeah, it seems hilarious and not too skin deep when it comes to plot ish, maybe.
I thought it could have been longer. They
Oh,
left,
definitely.
They left some loose ends that I wish they had tied up.
What,
At
are
the
they
same
not,
time,
are they
though,
not continuing it? I know nothing about it.
I don't think they're continuing it. I think it's done.
One Punch
Based
Man's
on
a
the
One Punch series. Never
One
gonna
Punch
have a season
series. Yeah, I think it's done. They have nothing more to. The loose ends that they need to tie it up have nothing to do with the main character. They already finished up the main character. They told his story, and but still, there are some things that I was like, wait a minute, what about this guy? What happens to him? Wasn't he looking for this other guy and he never finds him? So I'm like, whatever happens with that. But
maybe they'll do some spin-offs then. That'd be really nice.
that would be nice. I wouldn't mind a spin-off. I'd probably watch a spin-off.
Yeah, like maybe he'll just show up in the series. And like I'm saying, I don't know. Probably for people who read the manga, because the manga's still going.
Really?
Would know. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know why they wouldn't do more with this anime.
Well, maybe they will do more with it. I hope they do more. I'll watch more.
Yeah, I
It was
totally
good.
would as well. And I feel like it has enough of a following that it'll make them financially worth it.
Right. My favorite part is... So then, I bet you got to this part then. Did you get to that part where
here,
he's...
give me a second. Murata announced in the last weeks of the first season's airing schedule that he was working on making a second season a reality. So it's not confirmed, but he is trying. That was of December 2015.
So
All right,
he
so
is
go on
trying.
with what you were saying.
Did you get to that part where they get to that underground lab and there's that one guy who goes into maximum hyper overdrive?
Yeah.
And he's like, at this rate, I'll be like this for a whole week till next Saturday. And then he starts freaking out. He's like, oh my God, I made a huge mistake. He's like, if 1 week from today is next Saturday, then today is Saturday, which means I'm missing the sale right now, the bargain sale at the supermarket. And he's just freaking out, and he's just oh my God.
That was hilarious. I mean, that's his motivation. He needs to make this, bargain sale in order to... He's just like, crap, I'm spending too much time fiddling around with these dudes. I need to get to my sale. Time to wrap this up.
I was like, is he seriously worried? Is this guy seriously going to be a challenge for him? And it's like, no. He's just...
He's One Punch Man.
Yeah. Oh. What else? Oh, I finished Fooly Cooly.
Oh, good. I enjoy Fooly Cooly quite a bit. It's just always something I can show people, and it's only 6 episodes long, so even if they hate it, they can't really complain because it only took them 3 hours or whatever.
6 hours, 3 hours, yeah.
43 minutes times, yeah, go ahead. What were you saying about it?
Man, what the hell is going on in that anime?
It took me to the second time I was watching it to understand the main overarching plot. That's how screwed up it is. I mean, it's another one of those animes that's making fun of animes. So, they're intentionally making it as twisted and screwed up and hard to follow as possible. But
Okay.
yeah, I mean, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, it was, I know there's a lot of, is it euphemisms? Or symbolization? Symbolism. There's a lot of things that happen that represent the main character's changes in his life and things he's going through.
Yeah.
But and then there's the main storyline, and I'm like, wait, what?
Why is this? Why is this thing coming out of this guy's body? What's going on? Why are these things on fire? Just in general,
Yeah,
a lot of uneasiness watching that one.
Yeah. I liked it though.
Mm-hmm.
I liked it. It was good. Apparently they're making more.
Really,
I
that would
think-
really be a surprise to me. Let's look. Let's look up. Fooly Cooly. Looking up the things. So while I'm looking that up, unless you want to continue with Fooly Cooly any further.
Oh yeah, look, Adult Swim is making a sequel to Fooly Cooly.
Oh, okay, so they're producing it themselves.
Yeah, they bought the rights to it.
That's fantastic. I would, like I'm saying, I'd definitely watch that. So, I really like all the different ways they spell Fooly Cooly as well. Like FLCL, FOOLYCOOLY. Just, I think I do FOOLIECOOLIE, like Fooly Cooly. 2 new seasons totaling 12 episodes are announced for March 24th, 2016. Which was what? How many? Okay, they were announced then, so they're not produced yet. That's awesome. I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Huh. Oh no, they were half-hour episodes, or half-hour minus commercials. So
Right, so
it really
like
is just a
20-something.
3-hour event. Okay, so anime that I watched. I don't know if I mentioned it last time we were talking, or if I watched it in between that time. But Parasite the Maxim was what I was watching. Have you heard of that one before?
Someone might have been telling me about it, but what is like the main story?
Okay, so it's a kid who gets infected by an alien parasite that, like, normally it gets into people's brains and takes over their body and, like, gives him all sorts of ridiculous powers, but this one specifically tried to get to his brain but ended up getting implanted in his arm. So, like, the kid still gets to keep his consciousness while he has this parasite in his hand. And they're just completely cold stone, like, I really don't know what we're doing, but, like, we need to eat humans. We need to, like, spread ourselves throughout the world and, like, kill as many people as possible. Like, I don't know, just extremely, like, in the world of fight and flight, like, they're just extremely fight, and they're extremely, I don't know, dominating, but, like, yet again, they really don't know what they're doing. So that's kind of what they develop throughout the series. And then, like, obviously, the character himself develops a lot, and, you learn more and more about the mystery of the parasite as time goes on. There's some intense action scenes. In general, though, like, that's all the good parts of it. The one part that just I could never get past is how stupid the freaking parasites look. Like, I mean, if you just Google it right now and look at the pictures, like, they really could have made the parasite portion of it a lot less creepy and a lot more cool looking, in my opinion. It kind of just looks dumb. It looks like, I've got a finger with an eyeball on it. Like,
What is it called? Parasite Maxim?
Parasite the Maxim. Parasite is spelled SYTE. I don't know if there's a difference between...
Yeah, okay. Oh.
Yeah, like... I liked it a decent amount. It was definitely a good action, deep enough plot to keep me tied into it. And then, like, around the time when it started getting, like, old hat and started, like, building, they didn't really do much more with it. They kind of just ended the series, and that's exactly what I would have wanted. Like, it just reminds me, when I think of a show like that where that didn't end up happening, that would be, like, Death Note, where, like, it should have ended 2 seasons before it actually ended.
Okay.
So, like, that's the one thing I like about it.
There's this one picture of his hand all, like, fucked up with the eye and the mouth, and it's got, like, a thug hat, and it says, like, Thug for Life, and he's got, like, a Glock.
But yeah, like I'm saying, like, I honestly wouldn't have watched this show if I looked at all these images. I would have been like, wow, this looks really, really stupid. But it moved enough for me to keep watching it, and that's all I can say about that anime. Definitely one worth watching.
Okay, what is right now probably your favorite anime?
There's so many reasons to call an anime my favorite, and that's the issue with it. I'd say...
Like, the one that you
I'd probably
enjoyed
say
the most.
Brotherhood, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I always go back for artistic and, like, for epitome of anime, I would put Samurai Champloo, but, like, in general, probably Brotherhood. Like, it was just long enough, just good enough of a story, just good enough development, enough action, enough, quality characters, quality sounds, music, plot, that, like, that's kind of the one for me. But Samurai Champloo also holds a really nice place in my heart. Just due to its wacky theme, and like, they never really hold back in the plot. It looks artistically beautiful. It sounds artistically beautiful. Like, I just really like the way they put those two. So that's probably up in my top 2. What about you, Tom?
Brotherhood, probably. I really like Brotherhood. Full Metal Alchemist.
Yeah,
I did really like that. Cowboy Bebop is still probably one of my favorites.
Definitely up there.
I also like Samurai Champloo, but I like the whole theme and setting of Cowboy Bebop a lot more.
I can see that, yeah.
Especially the music, man. Oh, that music.
So jazzy. And that's another thing I like about Samurai Champloo. It's just that little tinge of like hip hop that they throw in there.
Right? Yeah. No, I dig that.
Mm-hmm. So those are your top 2, kind of similar top 2s, I should say.
Top 2, and JoJo.
JoJo's in there
Bizarre
now?
Adventure.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. That was one of my favorite.
Have you seen Space Dandy?
Yeah, I've heard of it, and I haven't watched it yet.
It's ridiculous humor, like barely even followable. Like, have you actually seen Bobobo? Because that's usually the epitome of ridiculous humor that I use for my anime standards. If you haven't, the anime I was just explaining, it does that, Space Dandy, it does that with a lot more class, I should say. Not to say that this show has any class at all, but, oh man, I'm liking it a lot. Or, I mean, I finished it, and it was good. Definitely worth watching. Basically, if you like the first 3 episodes, you'll like the rest of the series. That's all I can say about it. And, I mean, it does do some of that stuff that you see in Cowboy Bebop. I mean, it was made by the same people, generally, so that's probably the reason why. But it does have some of those episodes where it just changes the style of the anime and shows you some just ridiculous music or, like, art style to it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah, good stuff. Those are the last 2 I watched. Space Dandy being the most recent, and then Parasite the Maxim being the one before that.
I probably also have to. Okay, top. Oh, see a top 3 would be hard because I really like Gurren Lagann as well.
I could. It's my bias against space. Not space. Giant robots.
Giant mechs. Really I know. That and Evangelion are the only 2 giant robot ones that I've watched.
Yeah. Like, I got far enough into Gurren Lagann to respect it, and, you know, like, the believe in the me that believes in you, I still use that for people, just because it's just so precious. I have some good memories with it, but it still has giant robots and lots of fan service, and that's not what I'm all about.
Yeah, the fan service, yeah. Okay. The fan service turned me off, because I was like, yeah, okay. So, yeah, the fan service.
And then Evangelion, I started watching Evangelion, and I think there was enough plot minus the robots that I could have finished watching it, but just never ended up doing it.
It's Evangelion is like there's so much it follows this whole mythology of Adam and Lilith.
Okay.
And it's not just about the robots. It's like it follows this whole mythology thing about oh my god.
You don't have to get into it, Tom.
I was sitting there with Lisa, and she was reading the whole mythology thing, like coincidentally, as I was watching it. And I was like, "Yeah, I don't know what's going on. There's this thing called Adam, and this other thing called Lilith." And she's like, "Oh my god, I'm reading about that right now in this book." And she like explained it to me. I was like, "This is crazy."
So, have you seen Future Diaries yet?
Future Diaries?
Future Diary? Yeah, it's Mirar Nikki.
No.
Okay, that's your next plan. That's your next anime. I'm throwing it out there. I'll watch JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, the newer one. You watch Future Diary.
Okay. Where do you watch? What do you usually watch it on?
If it works well, I watch it on. Let's look up here. Ryu Anime. That's the one I use.
Ryu Anime.
Mm-hmm. That's the one I watch mine on. And I always do English dub.
Okay. If that doesn't work, try Kiss Anime.
Okay. That's another one that I know works usually pretty well.
That's the one I watched all of JoJo on. It's really good.
So the new version of JoJo, because like I said, the older one was just way too campy.
Yeah, you got to get like the 2012 version.
2012?
And then 2012? Once you get up to a certain point, they don't have any more dubs. I guess they're coming out, but they haven't been released.
That's fine.
Yet.
If I'm like attached to it enough, I'll start watching it with subs.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of like One Punch Man. It was just good enough for me to want to watch it subbed. I don't think there's any other animes that I've watched that were subbed so far, though.
I watched a couple subbed. I watched like Attack on Titan subbed.
Yeah, they releasing that, or did they do the English version of that yet, or are they just partially done with it?
I have no idea. I'm still waiting for part 2 to come out. Like, when the hell is that happening? Part 2!
Not to be racist or anything. So, all right, that we definitely took off on anime pretty well.
We definitely did. All right.
Yeah.
Next topic.
Yeah.
Jumping right into it.
Jumping right into it, just like that kid was dropped into it.
Oh, yep. Yep.
Yeah.
Harambo or Haram.
Harambo.
Harambe.
Haram.
Haram.
I mean, Harambe if you're Australian, Haram if you're English. I think that's what the bottom line was.
And Harambo if you just don't give a shit.
Yeah, if you don't give a f, then it can be Arambe or Aramban Crombie Finch.
Arambe Crombie. Oh my. Oh.
Geez. I'd wear that brand.
Oh.
It's like each stitch of like each shirt or article of clothing they have has one hair from the original Harambe. That's how they make the charity work. He has some silverback hair in it. That's why people would pay so much for it. It's limited edition clothing.
And well, yeah, okay. So this
back to the real subject.
This meme, this meme
the meme that followed this tragic incident.
Oh my god, it's everywhere you look. Everywhere I look, anyway.
Yeah, I was outside the other day and I was like, looking under rocks for like centipedes and stuff, and then there was a meme of Harambe there. It really is everywhere.
Rest in peace.
Rest in pieces.
I think it's funny. I laugh. It's
funny. I have a dark sense of humor, so I'm really about these. Some of these just
like, should they have killed it? Well, like, who knows?
I say no. I mean, he was an animal in captivity. What is killing him? It's not going to teach him anything.
Well, it was like dragging the child around and stuff, and if it comes to like save a child or save a gorilla, even though it is a silverback, which is an endangered species, you gotta save the kid, don't you? Right? Don't you gotta save the kid? I don't know.
I mean, that's why they should have just had a giant cage over the place.
We should be keeping animals like this closed up to be.
Yeah, we should. Yeah, whatever. They saved the kid. The kid's alive. The animal's not. That's the bottom line. I really think some high dose tranquilizer could have taken care of it, but
okay.
I guess
they could have tranquilized it. They should have done that.
And the argument against that was that like he was so powerful that he would have had enough energy to still kill the kid possibly, and that was their moral dilemma at the time.
Well, you know what? When it comes to like an endangered species and just animals in general, like why not? Like what the fuck? They should have done that. They should have tranquilized it. They should have got a tranquilizing like shotgun.
Yeah.
Or something, like.
To tranquilize the kid. No. Yeah, I really don't know what to say about it in general, Tom, because like if you say they should have tranquilized it and then they. In an alternate universe, they did tranquilize it and the kid died, then, you'd be getting flack about,
Well, yeah, it's a tragic, whatever.
People are allowed to have opinions.
Shit happens. That kid who got ate by a crocodile, why didn't they tranquilize the crocodile? They didn't even try with that, It's, alright, it's whatever.
Mm-hmm. I really think that the crocodile was kind of playing on the ape thing for his own little time in the limelight. Just saying. They always have those copycats after these big incidents, and that crocodile was really thinking about that, or an alligator.
Well, the biggest thing here is the mom was getting a lot of flack for not watching her kid when she was watching her kid, but
watching her kid fall into a cage.
Yada yada. Yeah, I know, right? For real. But all right, my favorite.
Back to the memes.
Okay, all right.
So let me just Google Harambe meme. So that way
well,
there's some fresh in front of my eyes.
Just look at Dicks Out for Harambe. It's...
Oh,
okay.
is that... Oh.
This whole Dicks Out for Harambo thing. I think it's hilarious. I think it's funny. This writer on the Washington Post is trying to explain Dicks Out for Harambe in an article on the Washington Post.
Yeah, and he just has to do it extremely, what's that?
There's also a
like
sub
passively, yeah.
There's also a sub meme, and it's blanked out. It's like D-S out for Harambe, which I'm gonna have a real hard time explaining here at the Washington Post, given that the first word is unsuitable for our website.
Oh no, there are some really bad memes here. I'm looking at this, and this gets dark real quick.
Some of them are pretty bad.
Yeah.
My favorite is like the one where it's like Bernie Sanders in his living room, and then there's like a picture of Harambe framed on his shelf.
Oh. Oh goodness. This gets bad. Okay.
There's like Harambe carved into Mount Rushmore.
Yeah, I saw that one.
Oh.
Interesting.
Yes, well, rest in peace, Harambe. My dick is out for you.
So I think we're going back to video games after this. Back to NESs actually.
Oh, back to the NES. If you didn't have enough video games, well, too bad.
Yeah, too bad, because we're going to give you more.
Giving you more.
Like 100% more.
The 3D NES.
So... Yeah, going back to the evil, seedy underground world of emulating, playing classic video games is the 3D NES, which is an emulator where they literally, kind of do like the 2.5D version of old classic games. They try to add like depth and a little bit of rotation to these classic 2D platformers and games in general.
Right, they add like shadows to it, and you can like rotate the screen and see at different angles. But it's still the same game.
Yeah, same game, just a different way to view it, basically.
Yeah, you're still moving left and right. How? Now I'm just like wondering, like you were trying to explain to me earlier before we started this, but like, do you know exactly how they're like doing this, like converting it?
Okay, so I think from what I was seeing from a video of someone who's doing it professionally, they have certain shapes, certain patterns that they use the pixels in order to make the 3D polygons, and with those common tools, they have enough to convert each sprite into something that people can, like enjoy and respect. So, like for example, a lot of NES was blocks. Like Mario's running on a block, ground. Like he's hopping up and down on a block. So one of the templates is taking the frontward facing sprite, like pasting it on each side of a 3D cube, and putting that into it, and like making that a certain depth. And then there's another one like pipes, like in Mario with the pipes, anything that's like cylindrical, they'll take that and make it look like it's like a 3D cylinder.
Okay.
As well, there's like a little bit they play with where they take something that's supposed to be like round, like a sphere, and depending on the size of the sprite, they slowly add some like curvature to it. So that's usually like the human sprite usually has that, like to make it look like his head is rounder.
Right.
They'll add some curvature to the 3D polygon, and like obviously not smooth, which I really like. It's kind of like cubical 3D spheres. But you really have to look at it to understand what I'm saying too. Like,
yeah.
To this.
But he's doing this manually, right? Or is he running it through like?
So it's the emulator, and you go through and you change what one of the sprites in the memory is doing. So like all blocks are the same thing. They're just pasted all over the video game. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
So once you change one block, it changes that block for the rest of the game, basically. And the people are going in there and adding these templates to these different sprites, and eventually the game, looks reasonable. But like for a game that nobody's tested before, nobody has like changed the sprites for yet, it looks like absolute garbage. And if you look up YouTube videos, you'll find that garbage very, very, not very sparingly. It's everywhere.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, I think it's cool. Oh
yeah,
it'll get people that normally don't play these games. It'll get them to play them because it's like different. People that have played these games are playing them because it looks cool.
Yeah, yet again, it harkens on that nostalgia, and as well, like you were saying, I know there's a lot of people that won't play older video games because they're like, this looks like crap, and I'm here for the graphics. And these 3D things they add to them really do help the aesthetics of the game. Right.
So that's cool. I like it. It's interesting.
Yeah, definitely gets people in the old classic game vibe, and maybe the developers of this, will get the golden seal of approval from Nintendo, and eventually they'll be able to publish these types of things. Which I feel like they might have done that already a couple times. Nintendo, did they? I feel like they revamped Mario Brothers in that style, didn't they? At some point with using like the 3DS. Maybe not.
I have no idea, honestly.
Yeah, I'd have to look into that.
I know they made like a new Super Mario Brothers for the 3DS, didn't they? They had to have.
Oh heck yeah, they wouldn't leave that cash cow laying around.
That cash cow.
Yeah, baby.
No, but it's cool. I like it.
Yeah, definitely something you need to see to believe.
Yeah, if you're listening to this right now, you won't be. You'll be like, "What is this?"
Yeah,
if you've never heard of this, you'll be like, "You guys, what are you even talking
you
about?"
You guys. Oh, you sillies.
Who even are you? Where are you getting
You
this
barely even make sense as it is, and now you're trying to explain advanced 3D spriting? Come on, get out of here.
Come on.
What is this? Come on. Come on, now touch me, baby.
You guys are chumps.
Yeah.
Okay, let's talk about, alright, the future is here. Let's talk about holograms.
Yeah, holla to all the holograms.
So, what started this is, there was... I guess there was some metal fest, like classic rock metal fest.
Oh, yeah. What we started talking about this was because of the classic metal thing. Because I think they did Michael Jackson originally in hologram.
They did Michael Jackson, they've done Tupac, and now they have Ronnie James Dio, which, if you don't know, I know Tyler doesn't.
I certainly don't.
He was a part of the... I think his band was just Dio. And he sang, like, Holy Diver. Honestly, Holy Diver is the only song I know from him.
Yeah,
but Holy Diver! Okay. Here we go. How holograms work.
So is this the official holla? First they play Holla Back Girl. Then they...
Holla back.
Yeah. And then it says, I ain't no holla back girl. And then they say, I am a hologram girl. And then bam, just like that, reality twist and a hologram shows up. It's really... They really don't know how to explain it. It's kind of like magnets where nobody knows why it works, but it works.
Yeah, man.
That's the unofficial way that
fucking magnets.
Work.
How do they work?
So what wisdom do you have on me, Tom? Because I am not on the subject with this.
I'm still trying to
I've got 30 seconds time to wrap my head around advanced graphical interfaces. Not for nothing. Maybe I'll just read this physics books while I'm waiting.
Yeah. Dude, there's this hologram lead singer of this Japanese band. I think they had them on like David Letterman or something, and it was weird. It was a bit weird.
Now, I never got to see what they did with Live Gorillas performances. Wasn't that kind of just like not animatronic, but mocap, where they had like people playing in the background and then had the mocap, like piece together sprite-looking people playing in the foreground? Is that how they played that?
Did they?
Okay.
I don't know.
I'd have to look it up real quick then. So Gorillaz, which I mean, you heard Gorillaz, they're bringing them back, right? They're making a new album.
What?
Yeah, boy.
Honestly, I didn't like The Fall, which I think is their newest album. I didn't really like that album.
I mean, and they were gonna end it there, but they decided not to.
Good. I want to hear more.
Okay, they totally did. So they made 3D sprites that they're able to manipulate, and then just did mocap, and that's how they did their live performances. So that's kind of cool. I like that. That's obviously not what we're talking about, though. We're talking about holograms.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out how the hell this shit works.
All right, if you want to keep figuring out how that works, I'm going to explain to the audience. This is coming back to last recording about my love for seltzer. I've actually looked into getting a CO2 tank and starting to make my own seltzer, for...
Wait,
Just
really?
for the fact, yeah, dude. All you really need is a CO2 tank, like a regulator, and then some way to, pump the CO2, pressurize it in a container, and then like shake it up and have it combine with the water. It's really for what I'm seeing, it's not as complicated as I'm making it sound right now. And I mean, once I get all those parts, piece it together, it's gonna save me a lot of money in the long run because seltzer is expensive. Like. I mean, I'm going to be having fresh seltzer, never have to worry about it being flat or anything. You can make all sorts of things with it. I mean, that's the reason why it's so expensive. You have to do it in order to make beer, soda. Like, I can make those things myself now, and that's the cool thing. Like, I really like the San Pellegrino sodas, juices. They're kind of like orange juice combined with, like, seltzery, sugar, water, soda type things, and carbonated. And it's great, like... All you gotta do is pour some freaking, vodka, rum, any of that kind of stuff into it, and you have like an instant mixed drink. And as well, I mean, I just like sweet drinks in general, so I drink that for days. But I mean, I can just start making that for myself. Like, screw paying $1.50 for a 16-ounce can. Like, I'm paying $15 to refill this 10-gallon tank every once in a while, and living large.
Wow.
So it's probably going to lay me back a couple $100 to make it happen, but once I put in that investment, it's all downhill from there.
Wow.
Yeah, dude. I'm all about it.
Okay.
Did you figure out the holograms?
Yeah, it's
cool.
it's not a hologram.
Okay, what is it then?
It's a 2D version of the image where it's pretty much they project the image onto like an invisible an invisible screen. Yeah. And they just project it.
Okay, so that is basically what they're doing with Gorillaz then. If you look up Gorillaz live show, you'll see an example of it. And that's okay, cool. So like all right. Obviously not holograms.
So
we're getting closer though.
The future yet?
Yeah,
we don't.
It's the current day right now. It's not the future.
I want like Star Wars holograms where it's like I could have a mini you like pop up.
A mini you? Oh,
you.
Like, yes.
Mini
okay,
Tyler pop up on my desk.
I thought you were talking about like you want some Star Wars figures and holograms, but no, you're talking. You want the future. You want the Star Wars future where, you have like your little Princess Leia pop up or whatever. Yeah, I mean, sounds like it should be doable in the near future. I mean, at least a cheap enough way to make it consumer friendly. Because I know there's ways to make holograms, but it requires a lot of build around, and they're not true holograms.
Right.
It's basically what they're doing here, except in a 3D environment.
Well, what really makes a true hologram?
I'd say that it needs to come from a singular source and doesn't need to be projected. That's just my look on it.
I think it needs to be projected, but you have to be able to wave your hand through it.
Well, yeah, that's kind of another way to say it. It doesn't have to be projected onto a source. Because, I mean, if you're not running your hand through anything, you're not running your hand through a source.
Yeah.
Or sorry, not a source, but like a screen or whatever. I don't know the words that come out of my mouth. You think I think before I talk? That's like the opposite of what I do.
Yeah, man. That's what makes this thing, but this podcast's so great is that we never think before we like say stuff.
Yeah.
So
That's kind of how I live my life. And I have no regrets. No regrets.
that's how you get far in life.
That's how you get far in life.
Never think about anything ever. Just.
Mm-hmm. Now, you said far in life, right? Not foreign life?
I said far.
Okay.
No, foreign. That's how you get
foreign. Yeah, I mean, like, you just keep doing this, and eventually people give you tickets to other places and other countries. That's how you get foreign life.
Become a foreigner.
Yep.
Okay.
You know, like that band, Cold as Ice? Yeah, foreigner.
Yeah.
I like streaming together nonsense. That's my favorite thing. If I could learn to crochet and nonsense could be abstracted into a physical medium, I would totally do that. Tom, before we get into our last topic, I wanted to try something with you.
Okay, yes. Okay, sure.
Yeah, it's called Switching Story. And, I'm going to explain it to you in the simplest terms I can. Basically, it's a game-ish type thing that people play where, like, I start off a story like, my name is Tom, and then you say the next sentence in the story, like, I like eggs, and then, which you totally don't like eggs, do you, Tom? Either way, doesn't matter. We don't need to pass into that. And, we go back and forth and make a story, but, the twist on this is me and you are going to be saying our sentences and swapping them simultaneously. So that's gonna be the hard part of it.
Okay,
is your phone near your microphone?
Yes.
All right, take it away. It's giving feedback.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. It's something I'm super sensitive to because I am always listening to music on my MP3 player, and anytime I put my phone and my MP3 player in the same pocket, I get like that little staticky noise.
Ooh.
It's very subtle, but not subtle enough for me not to notice. So, just a fun fact for fun. Do you understand what I'm talking about with this subject?
With this game?
Yeah, with this game.
Kind of. We need to do a slow example.
Okay. You think of a topic sentence, Tom.
Okay.
Don't say it.
I like water.
Well, that's the thing. You can't say it.
So. I can't say it.
Well, we're gonna say our topic sentences simultaneously. So I'm gonna say like 3, 2, 1, and then where we would say go, say a sentence, and I'm gonna continue your sentence, and you're gonna continue my story. You're gonna continue your story. Jeez,
So
I'm not.
Okay.
I'm not on key right now. All right.
Both just talking at the same time.
We're gonna be talking at the same time, continuing each other's stories and swapping them back and forth.
Okay. All right.
You got one?
Yep.
3, 2, 1. I got the baby
Sand
sloth.
is.
Oh, you're supposed to finish the sentence.
Coarse.
Sand is coarse. This is not rapid fire at all. Did you hear my sentence though?
No.
Okay, that might be the issue with it. Let's start another one then.
Okay.
3, 2, 1. The CBS
Bengay
News
helps my
story.
back.
I put Bengay on every day.
CBS News story was stupid.
CBS News story was stupid.
Bengay
Not
helps
really
my back,
though.
And
it was like the best thing in the world.
Really good. It smells like mint.
Mint is also what
CBS News story
mint.
Stupid.
Oh my god, this is hard. This is a lot harder than I thought it would be.
This is getting
I'm
out of hand.
trying to think and I'm trying to say at the same time.
This is getting really out of hand. Okay.
This is exactly what I wanted though. All right, do you want to start a new one? I think CBS is a little
So
bit
wait,
too ridiculous.
okay, I say a short sentence, you say a short sentence, then I take what you said and say it and add like what one word
No,
to it?
you don't have to say the same sentence. You have to add onto it. I just kept saying the same sentence because my head honestly couldn't wrap itself around doing these two things at the same time.
But I have to take what you say
and add a sentence to it. So like, let's just do an example. I'll run through the one I said earlier. I just got a baby sloth. You could say his name is Kyle. I could say he doesn't have any moss on him yet because he's too young. You could say, but even though he has no moss, I love him anyway. But like we'd be passing that back and forth while your creating a seed
Doing
for
the
a story.
same thing.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay. All right.
You're good at this, Tom. I mean,
I see what's going on here. Okay.
all right.
Let me think of something.
All right, yeah, get a stream of thought right now.
Okay.
I'm going to drink some of this water. Oh, yeah. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. It's gonna be hilarious the one time that we try this and we have the same topic sentence. All right. 3, 2, 1.
Sudoku
Windows
makes my
Vista
dick
is
hard.
terrible.
It makes me
Even
want
though
to
it makes it
throw it out a
hard.
window.
I never finish it.
It always gets me ready.
I couldn't hear your sentence. Damn it.
That's why we can't do this.
One more try. One more try.
Yeah.
So good. I can't wait to listen to this. All right. I'll try to make mine simple. You
Okay.
ready?
All right.
You do the 3, 2, 1 now.
Okay. All right. Wait. Give me a minute.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. 3, 2, 1. Sydney
I just got a
is in
new
Australia.
dog. Australia is south
It
of
is really
Japan.
nice.
The dog also
Japan
has
sucks.
paws. All 4 paws. All 4 legs have paws on them. I'm only kidding about Japan.
Dog
It's
only has
actually
3
really
legs,
nice
though.
and cultural. What happened to these dogs' legs? I don't understand what happened
Japan-
since last time.
Sucks though, really.
You know, Japan used to suck a lot
The dog actually
because
has 4
prostitution
legs.
is legal. I'm happy that the dog got its legs back.
Prostitution is great in Japan.
I remember when we used to be talking about Australia. Thank goodness that Japan took over the story.
I lost track. I didn't hear what you said.
It doesn't matter. We tried, Tom. We'll try it again.
Well,
Not today though.
some other time. That was fun though.
That was it fun? Okay.
He
That's what I was going for.
I liked it when you talked slow. I need to talk slower so you can understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think I said my last sentence pretty swiftly so I could start listening to yours. It's just really all about trying to do 2 not that complicated things at once, but
Oh. That was that. I like that. That was okay. All right.
one other thing before we get to our last subject. I know I talk about it more than I should, and it saddens me greatly, but I was in PA Wines and Spirits the other day, which is, the state-sponsored liquor store for Pennsylvania, and they had Cinerator on clearance. They're no longer going to be selling Cinerator. I don't know if it was just too many
Oh my
Cinerated
God.
related deaths or
I
that
almost
it's just
died.
too good. But they're no longer selling it. I have to go around and buy, I have to buy a bunch of it to make sure I have some in Pennsylvania. Or, maybe look up to see if they're still going to sell it in other states. But
Or maybe, you work at the docks. Maybe you could check when the next shipment's coming in and just take them all.
no. Take them all. A, that would be illegal, and I would never do that. B, I don't think we ship Cinerator. Like, we ship, wine, because we have a lot of wineries in the area, so we'll ship, either bulk wine out or, juices in order to be converted into wine. But, yeah, because we got all those vineyards. We're in, the vine belt or whatever.
Wine country.
Wine country, there you go.
Oh.
Wine country.
All right.
Last subject.
Last subject. Well, we've been at it for a while here. This is a good length, typical length for a podcast. About an hour and a half,
4.5 inches. What's that?
4.5 inches. Okay. All right. Okay. There was. All right. Let me.
Say it. Get a dramatic voice.
This weekend at a music fest in Ohio. According to the music fest, it was the last weekend on Earth. 24 people overdosed on THC. The devil's grass. Okay. So
This week in a state near you, 24 people,
it was
THC laced candy,
THC
one event.
candy.
one disaster.
One event. 24 people's minds get blown. Literally.
Not figuratively. All right, yeah, on with what we were saying. So, what last weekend? So August 6th is when this was published. So this happened during a rap music festival.
The headline by MGK, Machine Gun Kelly. My man. Never heard of him.
Yep.
But my
He's from
man.
Cleveland. My man that I never heard of before. Some courtly love.
Okay, so someone came to this concert with THC candy. Packages of them. Each package contained about 20 pieces of candy each. Normally, like, I think it said normally, like, 2 to 3 is, like, good enough. Like, you're good, dude. Some people were eating entire packages of the candy.
Yeah, so, an extremely high concentration of THC, baby.
Baby. Yeah. So, this is, they clearly didn't. They didn't overdose. You can't really overdose
Yeah, these
on
people didn't
THC.
die. Nobody died. Let's get that
No,
straight.
nobody
right away.
died. People were probably just freaking out.
Yeah.
So,
I really don't know how they define an overdose. I probably should look that up because I always thought an overdose was like it was fatal.
yeah.
But I mean, it's obviously not just you take more than the dosage. That's not an overdose, right? The ingestion or application of a drug or other substance in quantities greater than recommended. Is that really the
Quantities greater than
Wow.
recommended.
Tom? If you take 3 ibuprofen, you overdosed on ibuprofen. Did
Oh
you know
my
that?
god! Really?
So yeah, so that's obviously
Jeez.
just like a buzzword they're using for this situation. I really
just
thought it was a lot
overdosed.
worse than that.
I just overdosed like 2 hours ago. Then.
Yo, man, I ate like 24 pizza rolls the other day. I overdosed on pizza rolls.
Overdosed
That's
on
over
pizza.
the medically required amount of per serving pizza rolls I should have been eating. I need to start writing news articles because they must have a lot of fun blowing things up.
Okay, the best thing about this is the comments.
Yeah, so we're looking specifically at the Fox News US version of this article, and yeah, if you just go into the comments section, typical with any comment section, but specifically for ones on a politically biased news station, you're gonna find a lot of bullshit. A lot of bullshit. It's real thick, it's real ridiculous, and you get a certain number of themes. No matter what the subject is, someone's gonna relate it to the president, someone's gonna relate it to race, someone's gonna relate it to drugs, obviously really, really well with this one.
And
So
then there's this one guy who was just like, they were treated with Twinkies, Cheetos, and chili dogs.
yeah. So in the actual article themselves, they say that they brought in some. No, how do they describe it? It's naloxone, not naloxone, which apparently is for opiates, for people who overdose on opiates. They were given to the THC people. So this guy was like playing on that and saying like, yeah, and they're also treated with Twinkies and which that's a good comment. That's a comment that I can understand. But like, well, I gotta find some. Here's a person. I heard the only 2 words rappers could put together on stage after they ingested the drugs was F this and F that. Like, just throwing that in there for no reason. I don't really understand.
Yeah, I don't know
why we
what
need
the
that
point
comment.
is of that guy.
Somebody says lightweights, like making fun of them.
Lightweights. And someone... Blacks? Who cares? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because it was a rap concert, so like I'm saying, they incorporate the race
thing.
thing. Oh, okay, yeah, here's the political one. I wish Obama had ingested some of it before his latest vacation. It would be wonderful to see him sick and suffering.
Oh my god.
Why are people putting this here? I don't understand.
He's probably so used to smoking dope, it probably wouldn't affect him. Okay, dude. Like,
Why?
Well, who are you?
It's Ohio, who gives a fuck? That's another one. Like, Yeah, here's someone who's on my team. Nobody overdosed on THC. How many died? Nobody, just as expected. Yeah. Ugh, lame. Either way, THC overdoses still obviously happen, but still aren't fatal. No one dies from THC. That's the bottom line. I'm pretty against the drug itself in its widespread use and recreation use beyond recreation, but I can't even get on these people's team right now. This is just ridiculous.
Yeah,
completely blowing this out of proportion.
This is, I would say.
And also, I feel like this happens at like every music festival. Don't people get sick from taking too many drugs at every music festival? Isn't that just how it works?
People just
they don't
get
say like
sick in general. I mean,
15 people threw up after an overdose of alcohol. I mean, that just happens at every music festival. They wouldn't make a nice news story, I guess, but.
I mean, it could have been bad candy. It could have been like moldy candy.
It wasn't the THC at all. It was all the mold.
Well, I mean, the THC probably didn't help, but.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
Well, yeah, I don't know. People getting high at a concert, that's pretty typical. You go to a concert, you're most likely going to at least smell weed or see someone stoned.
Mm-hmm.
But, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really include a lot of details here. It's not like these 24 people, like, all came up together and were like, yo, we're freaking out, we got sick, but, like...
So, yeah, I don't know if it was separate events or all together either.
Who knows?
Yeah.
Who knows?
We'll never know.
The world may never know.
What is that? Like, Tootsie Pop
The Tootsie Pop, yeah.
Yeah, speaking of candy.
Yeah,
Never knowing.
How many licks does it take till you lose your mind?
What's that from?
No, that's just if the lollipops were THC.
Oh, okay. How many licks till you get to the THC overdose center of what would it even be? It wouldn't be like a Tootsie Pop. It'd be like a Twitsy Pop or Tootsie
Cushy Pop.
Cushy Pop. Yeah, okay, I can get behind that. How many licks does it take to get to THC overdose from a Cushy Pop?
Oh,
let's
God.
Find out.
It's
One,
a two,
a two.
Oh, okay.
I'm glad we got that far.
Well, moral of the story is you can't overdose on
Don't
weed.
listen to the news.
And
yeah,
fuck Fox News.
I'm sure other news stations.
What is this?
A little bit
Fox
too much.
News Latino?
What? Are you just reading other things?
Latino.foxnews.com. This is a thing. This is a real thing.
Oh, okay. It's news garnered towards Latino people.
It's not even in Spanish. What's next?
Tom,
like Fox News African American? Like, geez.
That's BET. They already do that.
Oh, okay.
You're reading.
Fox
Okay,
is
you're
also
reading the
behind
top
there.
portion. There's Fox News Radio, Business, and Latino.
Yeah.
Huh. I don't mind it. I mean, some people don't want to know the news, the general news, and they go for their Latino style news. That's completely fine by me.
I'm only coming to Fox News Latino for news from now on.
Oh man, they must be talking a lot about the Olympics in there then, though.
I've
seen absolutely no coverage of the Olympics thus far.
Yeah, I haven't either.
How about you? Yeah, me neither. Yeah. I really don't keep up with that kind of stuff. You can only really get into so many different subjects. You know, luckily, like, we kind of overlap with some of ours with our game and anime and, you know, ridiculous banter. So luckily, you know, that's why we have that chemistry, that ability to bounce back and forth. But I'm not a generalist. I cannot have a conversation with anyone about anything. I can tell you that much.
Oh. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Good stuff.
Good stuff.
Yeah, GGWP.
Yeah, GG.
GG.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. I believe.
And other genders.
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Don't-
gotta be really sensitive to all the different other genders.
Don't let me assume your gender.
Mm-hmm. You can let me assume your gender, though. I've got Gendar. It's like Gaydar, but for genders.
It's like Gengar the Pokemon, but
It's like Gengar the Pokemon. You can only evolve it by trading, and it's got really good base stat, special attack, and speed, but in the first generation it gets completely wrecked by ground moves before it gets Levitate. It's second generation, obviously, too. And that's why it's related to genders.
you put it better than anyone else could have, Tyler.
I'm a professional. I need a t-shirt that says I'm professional, just so everyone knows.
I'm professional. All right.
All right. Have a good night.
Yes, or
You-
day,
you
whatever.
people.
Whatever you listen to this.
Yeah,
people.
night, day.
We love
Australia.
ya.
We
You're
love
beautiful.
You. I love you. You love me.
And always remember Harambe. Never forget
Never spaghetti.
Harambo.
Harambe.
Harambunctious.
From Donkey Kong Country.
All right. This is like
This
one
is-
of those
this is the
phone
goodbye
calls
for
where it's
real.
like you hang up first.
No, you hang
first.
up.
It's like, okay, we're ending. We're done. We're done. Goodbye.
This is over. It's not working out. It's not me. It's you. Sucker. Now I get to have my own 5-minute bullshit. All right, I'm done.